So welcome one more time to Cocoa Tea with the Artist. We are here today with Xandra Fisher, and she is an artist who works in textiles. So thanks for being here today. Welcome, Sandra.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to have a retrospective show. I've never had one in my life, so it's wonderful to get all the 10 years of work into one gallery in Grenada, which has been my home for many years, off and on.
I've known you for many years, but more I knew your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us who your mother is.
Okay, my mother is Xandra Fisher. The family moved here in the 60s, and she's very well known for doing many things in Grenada. And she herself is a highly creative person, and she influenced me in pursuing a career in art. No, I was interested in art when I was a very young child, and I knew from then that that was an area that I was going to go into. And because she was an artist herself and went to the Art Institute herself, she encouraged me to pursue art. And
so what was your initial entry point into textile art, or what were some of your influences?
Well, as a child, I always loved fabrics, and so that was probably my original. And then when I went to art school, and fortunately it was a time when you could take classes in a lot of different things to do with fabrics, along with watercolors, oil painting, ceramics, sculpture, all those things that,
How many years of study did you take at the Art Institute? How long did it take you to go through?
Well, I graduated in 3 years, but that's because I had gone to another university in Mexico City, and I did 3 years there, and they took a year of my art there and transferred it. And so it's a total of 4 years for the program at the Art Institute.
But of actual study, it was 6 years? 3 years in Mexico and
So
3
a
years in
total of
Chicago.
6
Yeah.
workshops, classes, a lot of workshops on how to do art quilting are very available now.
So what
And
you're
it's
saying
a-
is that you studied to do this. You studied.
Yes, I definitely. Yeah, it's years, decades.
Decades of study.
Yeah,
Yes.
decades of- The traditional bed quilt, which originated in Europe and then brought to America in the 1800s, was, they definitely perfected the technique of quilting. And a lot of art quilters started in that tradition of making bed quilts. And then even before then, it would be, G's Bend was a classic example of women, and it was mostly women, that would get together at the end of the day and sew not only as a form of relaxation, but for the need to make things for the home. It would be for the birth of a baby, or it would be for a wedding, or it would be for someone who passed away. And so a lot of the materials that they used were pieces of used clothing from either used garments or garments of deceased. And so they would put these together in a very loving way, because they were going to be using those in their home. So for them, it was an expression of their creativity, but also, was something that they used in their home. And the reason they became so famous is because they sort of evolved from the traditional geometric little block, and they decided they were just going to do their own thing. And so, if you've seen any of the G's Bend quilts, which I'm sure you have, they're highly, they're not symmetrical. They're completely, they'll do strips, and they'll be going off and crooked, and so they just are these
Yeah, it's
amazing
beautiful, yeah.
modern art pieces. And went to California and got very interested in the whole art quilt movement, and that's how I started making, putting these pieces together that were inspired by things in nature. I used to, when I was young, I used to do a lot of snorkeling and enjoying the reefs in Grenada. And so that's been a big influence throughout my life. Not only the life that exists there, but the amazing colors that are underwater and also in all around you in Grenada. So I sort of took that to California and used those colors in my pieces.
I would like to find out if you tie-dye it first to give you the different color, or you get pieces of cloth.
Well, in this case, all of these are commercially bought fabrics. In this,
Okay.
I made all of this work in the States. So these you can buy in a store,
Okay.
but they are hand dyed by somebody else in another
Wow.
country. And so
Okay.
I purchased them. But now, and you'll see in some of the pieces in the show, I'm dyeing my own. And actually there's some here, like for example, this is mine. These are all my hand dyed pieces here. Like that's a stamp of a,
Okay.
and I used actually.
What are you hoping people will take away from your show?
Well, I hope that they will be excited to see something that's new and different if they've never seen it before. I hope that they're inspired by my use of color, because that's, what I enjoy doing the most in this.
Yeah, so we're very happy to have Xandra showing at the gallery here. We're very pleased to have this work because it's so unusual and it represents a lifetime. And this lifetime of work. I know people often ask, how long did it take you to do this piece? And the answer is all of the years of study and work and that has gone before it goes into this. So we're very happy to have you. We hope that you will be able to come to the opening Friday the 18th, 5:30, and that you can see some of this absolutely beautiful work in person. So thank you. Jomar will be here to greet you.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank
for
you.
allowing